It was a quiet autumn night when Sarah first heard it, a knock at the door. Tap, tap, tap. The sound was soft but deliberate, echoing through her empty house. She glanced at the clock, 12:03 a.m. Who would be visiting her this late? Her fingers trembled as she checked her phone. No missed calls, no texts. She hesitated before getting up, her footsteps eerily loud on the wooden floor. As she approached the front door, her breath caught. Through the peephole, she saw nothing but the empty porch. Tap, tap, tap. There it was again, louder this time, as if someone or something was waiting impatiently. Her heart pounded. "Hello?" she called out, her voice barely above a whisper. No response. Sarah's mind raced. The neighborhood had been quiet for years. No crime, no strange visitors. Yet, standing in front of her door, she felt an unsettling chill crawl up her spine. Slowly, she unlocked the door and pulled it open, bracing herself. Nothing. The porch was empty, the street dark. The only sound the faint rustling of leaves in the cold night breeze. Relieved, she shut the door. "Must have been my imagination," she muttered, shaking her head. But as soon as she turned around, tap, tap, tap. This time it came from the window at the far end of the living room. Sarah's blood turned to ice. She walked towards the window, her legs feeling like lead. The curtains fluttered slightly, though the window was closed. With shaky hands, she pulled them back and peered into the darkness. Again, nothing. Just the empty yard and the faint silhouette of trees swaying in the distance. But then, she noticed something strange. Footprints. They led from the street to her porch, stopping just below the window she was staring out of. The prints were fresh, pressed into the damp earth, but there was no sign of anyone around. Her breathing quickened. Could someone be playing a cruel joke on her, or was it something far worse? Suddenly, her phone vibrated in her hand, the sound startling her. A text message from an unknown number. "Let me in." Sarah's heart nearly stopped. Her eyes widened as she frantically scanned the room, her mind racing for an explanation. She tried to rationalize it. Maybe it was one of her friends messing with her, but no one knew where she lived. She'd moved in just a few weeks ago. The phone buzzed again. "I'm already inside." Her body froze. Slowly, she turned around, scanning the dark corners of her house. The air felt thick, heavy with a presence she couldn't see but could feel. Her throat tightened as fear gripped her every sense on high alert. Suddenly, she heard a soft creak from the hallway, the floorboards right outside her bedroom. She hadn't been in there since morning. Slowly, step by step, she walked towards the hall, her hands shaking. Her bedroom door was ajar, a thin sliver of darkness spilling into the hall. She reached for the doorknob and pushed it open. Empty. Everything was in its place, except for one thing, her closet door. It was wide open. She never left it open. Tap, tap, tap. This time the sound came from inside the closet. Her body went cold as she stared at the dark, gaping space. Slowly, she reached out, grabbing the door and pulling it further open. Inside, nothing but clothes hung neatly. But then, she saw it. A pair of glowing eyes staring back at her from the shadows. Before she could react, the closet door slammed shut on its own, the sound reverberating through the room. The lights flickered once, then twice, before plunging the house into complete darkness. She fumbled for her phone, but it wouldn't turn on. The tapping continued, now echoing through the entire house, on the walls, the windows, the doors. Her breath came in shallow gasps as she backed away, heart hammering. Suddenly, a cold voice whispered from the darkness, "You shouldn't have opened the door." The last thing Sarah saw was a shadowy figure emerging from the closet, too fast to scream, too late to run. Sometimes the scariest things aren't the ones we see, but the ones that quietly wait for us in the shadows, lurking just beyond our sight, until it's too late. Thank you so much for watching. If this story sent chills down your spine, make sure to hit the like button and share it with friends who love a good scare. For more terrifying tales and spine-tingling content, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss the next story. There's always something lurking in the shadows. You won't want to miss it. Stay spooky, and I'll see you in the next one.